wish I had the switcher for this.
E.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Tac City live stream up here in Tech today. Today I'm joined, actually, you guys might see a new face here. I'm joined by Mike G. If you guys don't know Mike G, this is the man, the myth, the legend.
Not really legendary, but close enough.
From Airsoft Master, right? I'm gonna let the chat kind of populate, let the streamers come or the viewers come in.
Sounds good.
Some days, we get a lot of viewers. Some days we get a couple, right? But if you guys are joining, nonetheless, regardless, I want to welcome you guys back to the Tac City live stream. If you guys haven't joined us before, basically what we go over on Wednesdays on the Tac City Tech live stream, we'll go over our personal builds, our replicas, attachments. We can also go over like parts that we have available here in the tech department, if you guys were ever curious. So if you guys ever needed any like info on a build or you're just unsure about what you're doing, you can always pop in the stream. Wednesday nights we do the stream around 6:30 to 7 o'clock generally is when we start the stream. So you guys are more than welcome to join at any time. Our streams are usually about 30 minutes long. So you guys are welcome to join and ask questions about parts and things like that you guys may not be able to get answered. I know some of you guys that watch the stream are regulars as well, and you guys have seen us up here, and we're very busy. We do there's a very high volume of traffic up here in the tech department. So this is a great place to get all your questions answered. But as far as today, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Mike here, let him introduce himself. Mike's a very good friend of ours up in the tech department. Garrett is very close with him. I remember being like this young kid, working at Extremetronics and going to Airsoft Master and shopping, right? And Mike was super helpful. And he's been in the industry a long time, so he definitely has some knowledge to share. Today we're going over gear, but before we do all that, like I said, Mike, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Appreciate it, Kevin. As always, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mike. I actually work at Airsoft Masters, located in Buena Park, California. We're actually a local shop that's nearby, actually Tac City, where sometimes, even when we close, we'll actually refer it to go to like Tac City nearby because they got more plethoras of stuff as well nearby, just to help out like in the community-wise for Airsoft mainly. And the main purpose of is help build our builds, at the same time also have fun with Airsoft in general. Just a little bit by myself. Actually, I started working at Airsoft Masters, I think beforehand, at like around 2016, 2017, around there. Played Airsoft quite some time where, look, surprisingly enough, the funny story about how I started it was I was actually, a lot of the Airsoft Master employees actually started off as customers at Airsoft Master. Mainly that happened to me too. Before I actually got into the shop, I was actually getting a build done with my first rifle was a G&G Top Tech. But before that, I hate to confess it, but my first actual rifle setup was an APS rifle.
Oh, man.
So tech work wise, yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works, man.
It worked.
APS is something that's, that's a risky one. It's kind of like gambling, If you guys do any sports betting, buying an APS is kind of like gambling. They're great guns, don't get me wrong. If that's within your budget and that's what you like, go for it.
The funny thing was about that too is a lot of people would recognize me back in the day when we did it was when we started building it. Actually, Airsoft Master did it again, where they build that where it put a LiPo MOSFET, the MOSFET in there and everything else to make it actually work. But the most craziest part is everyone would recognize it because how loud that electric blowback plate would go since it's all mechanical.
Those APS electric plates is just like. It's like an actual bolt like slamming. It's crazy.
Like you'll hear it.
A piece of metal that's that thin makes a lot of noise.
What's funny is, okay, so shout out to Garrett, is at Tac City Tech as well. The funny thing is everyone will still remember when I first ran that in Hollywood Sports, and actually you would still hear it across on Combat Center just going like every single time.
The best way to describe it, what the scenario that Mike is talking about with the APS electric blowbacks, they're old dust cover plates that move back and forth. If you guys watch any YouTube, you guys are more than familiar with Grand Thumb, right? Shout out Mr. Daddy Grand there.
Flannel Daddy.
Flannel Daddy, yeah. Yep. it sounded like a M1 Garand, like the ping sound, but,
Yeah,
like,
it's it's the same thing. And then
it's ridiculous.
like the saddest part is when you break that little metal piece. That was like
over.
it's over, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like the most saddest thing to happen
Yeah.
too. And then of course, like one thing is I'm always a sucker for electric blowbacks, and as well to that. So my main gun when I got started on was actually the Top Tech, by G&G. Oh yeah, yeah. And to this day, it's still one of my go-to rifles out there. Like you'll see me use that in Lion Claws, even twice on Milsim West out there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was able to use it in North Carolina when I was stationed over there for Camp Lejeune. So yeah, I had my time frame there, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Mike was actually at one point in armed forces. He was a Marine. I
Yes,
believe,
sir.
Right?
Yep.
Correct? Yeah. So Mike served his country proudly.
Appreciate it.
And now he's here with us in the airsoft community.
Yep.
Speaking of masters, I mean, it's funny you mention all the like workers there, all the employees,
Yeah.
the techs that we know between us, our
Yeah.
friend group. We all used to be customers there, or like somewhere. We all knew each other somehow at some point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's kind of ironic now that we think about it. But yeah, that's very, very funny. But the APS, the Top Tech,
Yeah.
I love that, dude. The G&G Top Tech is definitely a solid choice of a rifle. It's iconic for the electric blowback system. It's also iconic because the Top Tech G&Gs. If you guys played airsoft between 2013 to 2016, you would know. The Top Tech was just kind of the big thing at the time. G&Gs are still a very big thing, actually. I mean,
Yeah, actually.
you work for, so if you guys didn't know, Masters, Airsoft Masters in Buena Park is a G&G retailer, and they are one of the direct retailers. So they have a very vital connection with the manufacturer, G&G.
Yeah.
Right? So they get a lot of the new stuff first. So why don't you walk us through some of that really quickly?
So some of the stuff that we've actually done before, like for example, not too long ago, I think about 2 weeks ago, I did the video on the FAR 556, and surprisingly, with that type of with that gun and everything else, we actually got a chance to actually see it beforehand and everything else, due to the fact that it's one of those guns that we got to admit, even in Milsim games, because I'm like really 9 times out of 10 a Milsim player, you'll want something that's really compact to be more discreet, especially if, like for example, in the DMR side, you know, we only have such a big carry rifle to go from there, but yet when we have to clear out rooms or anything, we're stuck with basically our pistols or even like a little SMGs.
Right.
So what is the main problems I've seen more often with that is, well, I want to use an M4 basis, but at the same time, I can only use my 7.62 magazines. So when G&G released that FAR 556 and it folded out, it was amazing because the fact that, I'm glad you have the actual flat pack in here.
Yeah.
The FAR 556 fits
Yeah,
in
I
that,
saw it.
no
You guys
problem.
did
Yeah.
you guys did a short on Instagram, and they actually, you know, just to preface this, the rest of this live stream at least, we're gonna get into some of the gear that we carry here. Mike is a very big Milsim player. It is the beginning of September. It's getting a little cooler. I know a lot of you guys are heading out to events. I know a couple of our staff are heading out to Copperhead this weekend. More Milsim events are coming up. So we're probably going to have Mike and some other people on here, guys that have a background in the Milsim community. As much as I would want to say I have a background in the Milsim community, generally I do not. I've been to maybe 2 Milsims. One of them was a Desert Fox event. So honestly, like, no shade to Jet, but I don't think that counts. It was more of a casual.
Wait. How does that not count when it's still actually in like either, let's be real, we all know it as George Air Force Base. That would basically count, dude. No matter what, it's in a...
Would you count that as a Milsim, or would you count that as more of a casual event?
Bear with
right?
me. Even though casual games, because like, okay, it's a casual game, but still the same thing has where it's objective situations, capture the area. It's the same setup. The only thing is when it comes to like Milsim games, depending on a certain situation, is each one has its own topic. Like for example, I would say if you're, okay, for example, with like Jet Desert Fox games and everything else, it's still, I would say,
it's still very like...
It's very organized in that basis setup as well. Like,
it's basic, it's organized, it's very fun, right?
Definitely.
It's encouraging.
Yeah.
But as far as like other Milsims, like Milsim West is a lot, Milsim West is like the most hardcore one.
Yes.
Right? It's a 40-hour continuous, you can't go back to your car, right?
Yep.
So this is why when we're talking about like the new G&G rifle, the FF, the FAR, right?
Yeah, FAR
Folding
556.
rifle, a folding rifle is for a 40-hour Milsim game that you can't go back to your car, you know, that rifle fits into a Haley Strategic HSP flat pack here.
Yep.
And that's pretty insane. It looks like we got some engagement in the chat here. Just gonna go ahead, give that a read through. Thanks for finishing my SEMA. Pick it up tomorrow, Hudson. You the prune and trigger that I brought. All right, so Hudson is asking about the status of his gun. Thank you for joining the stream, Hudson. Trying to read it here. And trigger that I brought and piston I purchased from you guys. Just to confirm, you put yes. So we did go. We went ahead and we put in the MOSFET. We put in the piston, which was a slung piston for you. It's a full metal rack piston. So you should be all good to go there, Hudson. You can go ahead and come pick it up right when we open at about 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll be happy to help you out. Look forward to seeing you, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. Hudson's just one of the customers that's been in and out of the stream. He actually
man.
asked about parts a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And actually came in and bought them.
That's
So,
what's up.
Yeah, shout out to Hudson. We'll see you tomorrow, man.
Always support your techs. Literally, they're the ones that helps you out with any of the rifles and situations. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. But moving on, I guess, back to where we were. Yeah, the whole Milsim community, we're going to start bringing in a little more Milsim stuff, which is why I preface for all this gear on the table.
Right.
The G&G stuff, like the folding stuff that they came out with, I love it. I've seen it. I mean, I'm sure there's some concerns. Have you personally, have you guys gotten to run those like a field test day yet?
So one thing that I did notice that originally that's going to happen a lot more often is, okay, when it's out of the box fresh, one thing I will say that one thing that might be a little bit is this, it's really stiff, the spring that latches onto the system for the, because the way how it folds, the hop up actually, once you pull the latch, will recess the hop up in forward, and basically that's how you would fold the rail into the gun itself.
And then the stock is just the folding.
The stock, it folds like you would see on the ARP 3.0. Now, the little bit of the issue is that basically, how would you get that hop to come back? One thing is because the latch underneath is actually, just like if you think like the old school days, how you would have is your hop-up chamber on top, and then you have your feeder in the bottom.
Oh, the two-piece with the foot,
It's the same concept basically with G&G, except that latch is actually spring-operated, so once you put your magazine in, that's going to push the hop-up back into the
kind of like force feeds it
it force feeds it backwards.
To create a seal against your gearbox,
Yep, and then basically that's how it would feed the system there. So when a lot of us will see that, a lot of people will say it's really stiff at the start of the getup as well. Reason why is because of the fact that it's a brand new like stiff spring in regards of it. But after a certain amount of wear and tear, it will actually go a little bit lighter. That's one thing that I was told about it beforehand. And then another is the hop up, the little feeder that's in there sometimes. A lot of people will get concerned about because of denting it or sometimes.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about like opening it really fast and like slamming it or cracking it, or maybe I mean, aftermarket hop up options at that point are off the table. But, I mean, you're sacrificing that for a folding replica that fits inside of a Haley Strategic flat pack. I got to play with Tyler's. It was a humbling experience. You know, this gun folds down. It's no bigger than maybe, if you guys have seen the Haley Strategic chest rigs, it's no bigger than this. Like when you fold the gun up, it's literally
the length of it is going to be the same as the chest rig.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Milsim and gear and like what kind of gear you guys would run at like a Milsim, or maybe this is going to be the first year that you guys dabble in Milsim. You guys only play public games, right?
Right.
This is stuff you'd want to know, right? You know, if I'm going to a Milsim, I'd want to know, hey, there's this folding gun. I can take a sniper class like a DMR, right? Something that I can shoot, I can reach out with, right? I can shoot heavier BBs out of.
Right.
But then if I need to clear a building, you know, I can whip my hydration flat pack off and pull out a fully functioning M4 AEG. That's pretty insane.
And like a lot of my customers, I've seen a lot more often, what they do like as well is, of course, you guys will probably have the same situation, is everybody loves the PTS EPM1 shorts, even the EPM1s. Because the fact that with those is, even with the FER 556, they feed great. Like I've tested that on that regards of it as well. And then as well to that, the hop-up is proprietary on that, but the good news is about that is, yes, that even though you can still change out your inner barrel if you need be, and as well to that, your hop-up, so like, for me, I'm usually like, changing it to like a Type Bore 603, and then as well to that, even doing like a flat hop system, just to help get that range.
You can do like a modified flat hop or any generic flat hop, really. Or even if you guys are on a budget, you know, Promi Purple, call it a day, right? Promi Purple and a Type Bore. You know, we have all this nice stuff now. We take it for granted sometimes. I mean, guys are running.
I mean, look at me back in the day, APS.
Yeah, 2014, 2015. Like
Yeah.
Max did not exist.
No, yeah.
We were running like the best meta, right?
Yeah.
You know, you'd go to TAC and guys are running Promi Purples. Yeah, Promi Purple is the best bucking, dude. Like,
I don't know.
it's
I had
the
an
most
argument where
ac-
I actually did like I still to this day, I kind of still like the actual G&G green buckings. Those
so the
things were
G&G,
great.
no, so
yeah.
I'm biased towards though. I love G&G green
Yeah.
buckings because I remember it was a time when I first got into Polar Stars.
Yeah.
G&G green buckings inside of like a Pro-Win with a type board.
Oh my god.
Unmatched, bro. Beaming a kid across the field, like no problem.
Yeah,
like 2 O's,
basically,
2
yeah.
5s. It would hop 3 O's for outdoors. It was great.
Yeah.
But now like we have so many. I don't want to say the market is saturated because you know the airsoft at the end of the day is still a very niche market, but
Yeah.
it's definitely gotten a little more saturated. We have Max, we have
I mean,
retro, we have
Retro,
Max.
yeah.
We got Pro and Dytac Pro-Win still, right? We have all these hop up and like barrel
Right.
brands.
Yeah.
I think like right now everyone's on the Max Maple Leaf.
Yes.
That seems to work all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we went over that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that's something that I wish more people knew because people just come into it and people expect like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the best,
Yeah.
you know, most expensive bucking and barrel and beam ever. No, like,
No, yeah.
a $15 Promi Purple will do you a lot of good. I will
Yeah.
say that right now.
That's definitely
and
true.
That bucking will last you a good couple of months, as far as that goes. I mean, as far as the segue, I know G&G came out with the FAR folding rifle. That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest topic. There's definitely a lot of other stuff too that you guys can. I'll leave a link somewhere in the video after the fact. Hopefully, if I can edit the description. YouTube, thanks for being difficult.
It's okay. I mean,
But
yeah.
if I can edit the description, I'll definitely leave a link to Airsoft Masters social media. You can go to airsoftmaster.com. That's their website. But I can leave a link that'll direct you guys there. That will pretty much take you to the official G&G retailer. So if you guys have any questions about your G&G, right, parts that are specific to a G&G, like OEM, right, you guys can definitely hit Airsoft Masters up. They'll be able to help you out. But I guess to segue from that and move on,
Yeah.
still on the topic of Milsim.
Yeah, so-
we're talking about gear. I mean, it's getting colder. I'm more of an indoor, like fast paced. I love doing
Right.
speed TV. I love doing formats like that.
Right.
But I've branched out on my own and play outdoors. I played with a couple outdoor teams, played a Milsim or two.
Yeah.
I believe, you know, here at Tech City, there's a lot of gear to be had. What I have on the table is really just a small selection that I kind of chose on a whim. This is gear that I would personally wear. Mike also has his personal. You actually have your carrier on you, don't you?
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
I left it over there just because of the fact that I'm going to get my stuff. But
let me see if one of the techs will bring it over for us.
it's fine. I would say
Yeah.
the thing is that you got mainly that's focused on here that I would actually rock to. Mainly you have the gray Haley flat pack, and then you
Yeah.
also have the DC3RM micros, which personally I do like these as well. But in regards of like the gear setup and everything I would do, it's the same setup where you kind of want to do something like really small, streamlined. I mean, especially how like a lot of us will, a lot of modern today, they want to do like as much slick as you can because
Yeah,
again,
you want to
high
go
speed, low
like high
drag.
speed, low drag,
Yeah.
right? As corny as that sounds, right? Or you know, the joke is like high drag, low speed. But
Yeah.
um,
There's another joke. I'll say
Yeah.
it too. Is like the funny thing is you can always have tier 1 gear, but if your physical fitness is tier 4, what are you gonna do, bro?
yeah, dude, I'm seeing dudes out there in what like Pharaohs. I'm like, you know, setups that are more expensive than my gun. And then
Yeah.
they run 2 steps under gas. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's take a step back there. Let's figure some stuff out. and
Right.
then we'll talk about it. You know,
But-
or we'll deal with it.
Yeah. So for
But,
gear wise, one thing I can say for sure that a lot of people will do that's really fast is again, the two perfect combinations you got is you have the chest rig and then you got your flat pack. And one thing that's really good about these two is they actually combine together to make a little micro chest rig that all you would need. You have your main for your 3 sets for your 3 M4 magazines and 2 pistol mag pouches right here. And at the same time, you have a flat pack to put your pack of water, or even at a point where, like, if you need a backup rifle, the FAR 5.56 fits in there, no problem. Even at a point where my experience, where when I would have it was back when I was actually in North Carolina, I would have like a 96, and I went with my buddies. Shout out to the guys at 8th Crime, by the way. But I would have my 96 and we would go out like hiking or something like that. Or I need like a 3-day weekend bag.
3-day bag.
Yeah. Well, what if I told you I put most of my clothes in here and my toiletries inside this thing?
You use the HSP flat pack as a 3-day. Okay.
I use it as a 3-day. I know it sounds weird.
The manual says you're not supposed to do that. Where's your ruck, bro?
Well, look, I know, but at the same time, for a 3-day, just like regular, weekend day bag, just to have fun, and like I would put my extra spare clothes in there, like my water, just anything I would need to go out like to have fun. It definitely fits in there, no problem.
Yeah,
and
it's got a lot of space.
Yeah, definitely.
This is like the size of a. I'd compare this to like a JanSport backpack. They call it a flat pack, but this expands as well. If you guys don't know, and these straps, I'm gonna flip it over for you guys actually for the audience. These buckles here, you can integrate this into the 4 on your Haley chest rig, right?
Yep.
And not only can you integrate it onto your Haley chest rig, right? If you have a flat pack and you want to integrate it into your chest rig, this is one of our staff chest rigs here. This is a Spiritus Systems. I believe this is a Mark IV or Mark III rig. This is a Mark IV? Yeah, this is a Mark IV rig here. This is in Ranger Green.
Yep.
But if I were to unhook these clips and these straps and hook it to the flat pack of my choice, it would work, right? So if you guys are headed out to Milsom's, you want a lightweight setup, maybe a plate carrier is not their first choice. Because, a lot of people are new.
Yeah.
It kind of restricts you, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want that. They want the chest rig, but they also want to be able to have a flat pack or something to hold something for that 40-hour game, right? Water, clothes, toothbrush, snacks, deodorant. Deodorant is very important, guys. Do not forget.
Also, when you're doing a Milsim game, another most important thing, please, for the love of God, hydrate. There are too many times I've seen people heat casualty, even in cold weather situations. Always drink water. Keep water with you at all times, because you don't want to end up with a guy who's basically overheating. And guess what? We're probably going to have to put a lot of ice on you to cool yourself, your body down, all that stuff. It's a whole different story from that situation.
Yeah, but mainly with these rigs and these flat packs, that's how they work. They're pretty generic. It's interchangeable between all the brands. So if you guys are looking for something a little more intermediate or advanced per se, I know a lot of guys, you started out with a quick draw.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I started out with a quick cross draw vest, a little dinky Chinese vest. Everyone starts somewhere, right? But as you guys upgrade your guns, upgrade your game, you guys are getting better. You're gonna want to upgrade some of your gear too. This is pricey stuff. I will be admitting that. This flat pack is $158 here at Tac City. That's what we retail them for. You can also buy them direct from HSP, and they're about the same price. But good gear, just like anything else, good quality gear that's gonna last you a long time, right, and have a lot of applications, is gonna cost you a penny, right? Spiritus rig, guys are reselling them, but you can usually find these for between 120 to
about
190, right? And it's good. I've had my Mark IV for 2.5 years, and I've had no problems with it. I have no tears.
Yeah,
my mags stay in. A lot of these new systems use a placard. So I don't know if they can see that on camera, but it's,
the Velcro's there ready to go.
Velcro, you just put your placard in there, and you're good to go. I love the simplicity of it. And that's like mainly it. And the cool thing about it, that I think what Mike handled here is you can actually integrate that with a plate carrier.
So basically, here's mine. I did like a little setup on mine where I have like my magazines on there ready to go. It's a quick detach system. Actually, my tan one does a better one in reality of it. Like this is just like made for. Actually, surprisingly play today.
Public play, yeah.
Yeah, but my actual setup that I have for my so I have a VFC scar, and I have also a Tokyo Marine NGRS scar.
Right.
Shout out to Chung from my old school days, HSP. But he's the one who actually got me into gear. And one thing I will say is I have multiple setups on this. A lot of people will actually recognize me on the Milsim games where I would actually rock my First Spear plate carrier. And if you know about First Spear plate carriers, it is a heavy dollar amount just to start off with that. And but the thing is, just like when you brought up about quality, the quality is there because the fact that especially it can last you a long time. When I mean like
First Spear,
that's
top dollar. That's like you got to ask for that. If you're in the service, I don't think that's not standard issue, is it? Like you have to be,
no, I bought that on my personal. I know it sounds kind of bad, but I bought it. But for example, I used it. I use it many times for my qualifications. I also did it for my rifle qual. I had it use my actual First Spear plate carrier out there. And I also even got to use my Team Wendy helmet, my ballistic one.
$300 helmet. Oh,
No,
man.
actually, the ballistic one is actually like what?
Oh wait,
1400?
ballistic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're talking about the ballistic one. over
Yeah.
there.
So I mean, top dollar, because it's reality. If you think about it, where if you invest the amount of money that you would on your airsoft gun, but if you actually invest it on yourself with gear wise, it can come in a benefit. For example, like surprisingly enough, like I used it on many field ops, all that stuff. I used it on my rifle quals, like I stated before, as well. To that, just like the chest rigs too. Is like
Yeah.
one thing I did like about it, which I wish I kind of got earlier into it, was the fact that it's quick detach and how fast these guys can go.
Yeah,
So
I mean, if you
meaning-
guys are
Yeah.
watching, like these buckles are the same buckles that are on the Haley.
Yeah.
Like, I could swap rigs.
And so
right
the
now,
best part is
you
about
know?
it too, what I do like about these guys is the fact that also just if you wanted to change your platforms right off the bat, really easy to go. Like say for example, going from like the 5.56 to straight the 9mm micros. Like,
Yeah, you know,
like,
if you had an extra placard, rip.
yeah, just
right?
rip and easy down there. And that's one thing I do like about that. Surprisingly, that's one thing I liked about how discreet it is, and it's nice. So and it's easier to change it out real fast. And then at the same time, you know, just some simple, easy setups that I really do like about that.
This is a nice carrier, man. Is this a repro or is this
Just a repro, bro.
the repro of
'Cause, like-
Pharaoh? Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason why I like the repros is, I mean, man, I already did my time with the first spear. It's like I'm a baller on a budget right now, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Now, if you guys are curious, reproduction gear is actually not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a reproduction Spiritus. I have a tan. If you guys ever see me on the field here at Tax City, I'll usually be wearing a little tan chest rig when I'm working.
Yep.
It looks like a Mark IV. It is actually Emerson Gear Mark IV.
Hey,
chest
there's
rig.
nothing wrong with that too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with repro gear. There's nothing wrong with spending baller budget on gear. Like, look, you know, you just got to make sure it doesn't come before skill. Right?
Yep.
We're talking, you know, you guys have been playing for a while. You feel like your skill has peaked, or not really peaked, but you know, you feel like you're at a comfortable skill level where
Yeah.
you know you want to invest in some more. Like gear is something that is quite commonly overlooked.
Right.
I've seen some guys that like absolute monsters on the field, but homie's wearing a rental mask and a quick draw vest. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, we got to get him hooked up, right?
get them bougie and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's some people, you know, so you know, once you guys reach that skill level, definitely look into it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely look into higher end gear that will help out your game. Another thing I want to talk about that is actually kind of important for Milsums,
Yes.
your brain bucket. Right?
So, also known for us as the Kevlar basis, but this one's not real. But
Yeah,
yes,
this is a
having an airsoft helmet is
M-Tech.
important. Yeah.
How many times has this saved your bacon? Yeah, you fall out of a moving vehicle, you bump into a doorway, right? You climbing up, you know, George Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Climbing in and out of those windows, bumping your head on branches.
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, these helmets are great for mounting like GoPros.
Yep.
If that's your thing, you can mount nods or fake
Yep.
nods if that's your thing.
Yep.
You got the whole side rail. You can go full on, you know, Black Hawk down and do whatever
Exactly.
you want.
So the
right?
best part about like the Kevlar, especially the PTS M-Flux helmet as well, is one thing people like is the lightweight capability. Like for example, for back in the day, like even for the Ops Core helmets, we would have those crazy arc rails in the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Those, I gotta admit, those were a pain to put headset gear on there.
Yeah,
Like-
no. We actually, unfortunately, didn't have the headset adapter for the M-Tech up here, but the system, all the accessories on this one are all M-Lock related. In 2023, that's kind of a blessing because everything
Yes.
is freaking M-Lock. So, you know, if you have trouble finding accessories for this, that's a you problem because M-Lock is everywhere, right?
Yes, M-Lock is like a
M-
majority
M-Lock
of it
is
now.
everywhere. I know guys tend to, you know, M-Tech I think is like, would you say this is like the more mainstream like helmet right now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of the
actually,
streamers,
I have
everyone's
to
running it.
confess, as an airsoft, I also bought my M-Tech Flux helmet too. I bought one in green because I was like wanting to do like my like Zaslon loadout for my AK setup. So I was like, I had to get a green one since it looked clean.
So it was between this and like a Team Wendy for me, but I feel like the M-Tech is definitely a little more accessible.
yeah.
It's definitely more accessible for our guests. We have these retailing at $139, which is generically the retail price with PTS.
Saves you more money than
Yeah.
spending a $600 helmet
Yeah,
or $300 helmet
You
from
know,
Team Wendy.
it is non-ballistic. I want to make that clear before.
Please do not use it.
It is non-ballistic. This will barely stop an airsoft TV. Do not put this on your head and try something.
Please
please
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
So all airsoft helmets, I mean, you can get a ballistic one, and that's a cool factor for training.
Yeah.
But non-ballistic, I mean, essentially it's like the equivalent of like a bike helmet.
Yep.
Protects your head from bumps.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take falls at Milsom's. It's a lot bigger area of operations. You're gonna be out like in the woods,
Yeah.
you know, far from us. You don't want to be getting hurt. But the nice thing with these PTS M-Techs, I actually own one myself. I'm currently building it out. I just love how lightweight it is. The M-Lock like really cuts a lot of weight.
So
Surprisingly.
yeah, like one thing I do like about that too is how really lightweight it is, and especially when it comes to weight, putting it on your actual helmet.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I know for sure is like the comm system, and also like putting your GoPro or even your nods. Even the fact that 9 times out of 10 you'll see like a counterweight system on the back of it.
Yeah, no, that's all neck strain and that's all like fatigue.
So
on you
any
during the
type
event.
of weight that we can save on it, like mainly on the M-Lock system, yo, that is like a blessing for us. Mainly for your neck
It's
as well.
airsoft. We don't need that ballistic protection.
I'm sorry, but it's
I mean,
still the concept is still
unless
there,
you're
yeah.
getting like hit in the head. I mean, even I'm pretty sure this will stop like a tag-in, right? Like, come on.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared about the tagging round, so I'm not gonna lie, because those
Hey,
things
maybe we'll shoot an M-Tech with a tag and chalk round one day and see what happens. Maybe one day.
if Tag City allows us to,
Yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah. But M-Techs are definitely my go-to helmet right now.
Oh,
They're
yeah, definitely.
inexpensive for the price. I mean, they're kind of in the mid-range budget.
Yeah.
You get all your accessories together. You're spending maybe about $250, $300.
Yep.
Which is a decent helmet setup, right? But the next thing I want to move on to outside of the helmet, which is I think the last kind of main essential kit of the battle rattle, is slings, right? You're gonna be walking around for like 8 hours a day, dude, having a full metal gun,
Not only that,
slings,
like
climbing over walls, bouncing your gun.
having a sling is like the biggest blessing
Yeah.
because, like, okay, especially I've seen it happen before. If some of us actually forget our slings and we're like, because you have to hike to your area for Milson games too.
Yeah,
like,
no,
So,
if you guys didn't know, you guys are going to be parking at like a staging area, right,
Yeah.
like a festival, and then you guys are hiking in to wherever you guys are playing airsoft. So lugging that 5 or 10 pound airsoft gun around for an hour might not be that much, but wait till you're 4 hours in, then it's like, okay.
this is a really big blessing, mainly the fact that, again, if you're like even carrying like, okay, so for me in Milson games, I'll be usually signed as the Grenadier, so I'll be carrying my M203 with me. So this is like my #1 best thing I need because this helps like remove the strain off my neck, and like, or not even really my neck, but more like just carrying the rifle around and whatnot. And plus, you're ready to go on standby whenever you need to be. So again, one of the things that I will say for slings, it's always a plus to have necessities-wise because it's there on your body on standby. And say, for example, a lot of people like to do it is, say, for example, you're going to clear a room. You're going to go from your primary down to your secondary, so that transition literally is drop on your body, and you're ready to go from there.
Yeah, we're definitely going to, we both agree on the point of 2-point slings, right?
Oh, definitely.
There's
2
no
point,
argument there. 2-point slings, honestly, easiest to use,
Yep.
very easy to understand, right? You can cinch that up, get that close to your body.
Yep.
You can let it hang, so you can bring your gun up and
Put it on the ready
or
position. Yeah.
replica up and actually punch out.
Oh, yeah.
But I love having my like the one time, I mean, there's a whole debate. We're not going to get into it here on stream because our time is kind of dwindling down here. But I mean, you've heard the 1-point, 2-point, 3-point hybrid argument.
Yeah.
I've tried all of them, and I will say this: I will never use a 1-point sling again. We were at Desert Fox.
I agree
We're
on
at
that
Desert
one,
Fox. I think we were at Desert Fox 2 years ago, and we're climbing into a building, and this building is full of OPFOR. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to make a noise. This is at like 4 p.m., right?
Yeah.
So it's bright out, so if
So
I make
everyone
a
can
noise,
see you.
everyone can see you hopping the wall, and we're hopping the wall into this fob, right?
Right.
My rifle, me being young and very inexperienced, like I said, Milsom's not my thing. I was an indoor player. Oh, 1-point sling, that'll work. Guess what happens? I'm about halfway up the wall. That gun or that replica swings around, bangs against the wall. So not only does my optic crack, my magazine falls out because airsoft replicas are not really meant to like take the abuse of like a real thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're not gonna go into actual combat with a gel blaster replica. Like they're not made to stand up to that type of abuse.
No, absolutely
So
not.
as soon as this thing hit the wall, I hear my aim point replica crack, and it was terrible. But not only that, everybody in that house that we were trying to ambush turned around because they heard that and they heard the magazine falling out. From there, I never used a 2-point sling again. I always A 2-point or a 1-point sling, never use it again.
Yeah.
Always use a 2-point.
I mean, let's be real. Like every single time I would see it in a 1-point sling, they would be dangling on the legs and whatnot. And it's like it's always a pain to have that happen as well.
Yeah.
It's always the one thing I noticed that's always a problem as well.
Black P90 mag holders going for Tac City. We got the Eric Experience in the chat. If you're looking for P90 mag holders, off the top of my head at least, I believe we retail those for somewhere around $13.99 to $17.99, depending on the sizing of that pouch. Hudson, sorry man, I just missed your chat here. I hope you're still in the stream. You said you put in the trigger. Yes, we did put in the trigger, Hudson. Thank you for asking. Go to Airsoft Master, and you help me. This text is kind of too small. I need to fix this.
It's okay.
Help me retire my KWA for free. All right, thank you. Yeah, dude, we're always here to help you, man. Masters, Tac City. I mean, we're all a community here.
Yep.
So, you come to either of us, we're gonna try to help you out. I'm running my pig at Milsom's. It's got no plates, and it's so soft. Yeah, dude. If you're looking for plates, actually,
so plates.
here's a little secret. You already know what I'm gonna say.
Are you gonna tell them? You gonna tell?
You ain't gonna argue.
I'm not. Hey, but I mean,
PTS.
yes.
They're like pillows. I used to sleep on those. Like,
Oh my
PTS
God.
SAP
Yeah.
eye plates on e-bike. If you guys are running like those hard e-bike plates, do yourself a favor. Go get PTS plates. They're like $30.
Yep.
And they're the softest, most comfortable plates you'll ever get to put in your plate carrier as a mock plate.
And they keep it stiff, so you're good to
yeah.
go, and like it's perfect.
And they double as a pillow. Literally, they double as a pillow during your milsim. So if you need a pillow, flip your plate carrier over.
Exactly. That's all you would need.
Just checking the rest of the engagement here. Hudson's saying, I'm thinking about getting a new Eve. I sold my old one with the Titan because Makeo's is so nice. Still here. Yeah, dude, get a new Eve. Get it with the Titan in it. I think that's a fairly decent intro.
I was supposed to do like a video on like the top 10 for us at Airsoft Master.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have the Eve on there as well, like the KWA Eve 9, Eve 4. But at a point where we sold out all our thing and we don't know when we're going to get it
How dare you? How dare you?
No, because I got to admit, it's a really good gun and I like the variable FPS on
KWA,
that.
KWA variable FPS. It's a great starting point.
Yeah.
I believe Speaky B offers versions that, come with the Titan and things like that.
And I mean, like, the fact that you have that as well on there, oh my God, yeah. So that's what's going to be on Airsoft Masters Top 10 is one of be those. Yeah. And I got to admit, like, we were supposed to get that video done and everything else, but we can't do it because the thing is, we kept selling out. I don't have the rifle on hand. So now I'm like, I got to push this back now.
Yeah, hey, KWA, you hear that? Masters needs more KWA rifles, guys. Come
on,
man. Just to answer one last question here, Hudson, as we close out, just to let you guys know, we're going to wind down the stream here. We've been on for about 40 minutes now. I hope you guys got some info on all the gear. You guys got to meet Mike, right? Learn about the Airsoft Masters side of the community.
Appreciate it.
I don't know the size of the pig, says Hudson. All right, man.
So the good news is with sappy plates like the PTS, it usually on the plate carriers, no matter what you're going to use, it's always going to be a 10 by 12. It's a copy of a real sappy plate.
Yeah, you get a medium.
So,
I think most pigs are sized for 10 by 12, no matter what size it is.
So no matter what, it's going to fit generically fine.
You can also, I know for a fact, I know you know Makeo. You mentioned him in the chat there, Hudson. The next time you're here playing, if you see Makeo, if he still has that black pig plate carrier, that used to be mine. You can compare sizes with that. That's a medium. But once you find out the size, you can get those PTS plates. I have those in Makeo's. So if you want to see how they feel, come see me, man. Come see Makeo. We'll get you set up. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We went over quite a bit of gear.
Yep.
Quite a bit of some, talking shop with Mike G here.
Appreciated.
It's always a pleasure to have a fellow, Airsoft tech salesman in here.
Yeah.
You're from Airsoft Masters. We used to shop there. We grew up together.
Yeah.
See different things, different customers, different guns. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Next week, we're probably going to have another Milsim series, but maybe this time, I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see, but I'm thinking probably we're going to go into packing, right? Actually, condensing your stuff, not losing your stuff at a Milsim, taking care of your stuff. Hygiene is a big thing.
Oh, definitely.
So
definitely.
We're definitely going to go over some of that next week. I know most of our staff should be back from Copperhead next week. So it might be a good recap. You know, they're going to be unpacking things like that. So, yeah, with that being said, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm hoping that you guys have a wonderful night. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, right, please call us, email us at taxcitytech@taxcityairsoft.com, or you can call us during business hours and ask for the tech department, and we're more than willing to help you out. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm trying to leave an Airsoft Masters link. You guys can also, you know, if you guys are local, I know most of you guys do also shop at Airsoft Masters, so if you guys have questions, you can direct them there. Again, join us next week, 6:30 on Wednesday. We're probably going to be going over another segment of the Milsim experience and a recap of probably American Milsim Copperhead, which is taking place in New Mexico.
Yep.
That's this weekend. But all right,